yet another amazing day in the Eminönü district of Istanbul, housing one of its most beautiful and historical old architectural buildings, glorious mosques, and how can we forget it's famously known for its square, shopping centers, and old bazaars, especially the Mısır Çarşısı. Our plan for today was to do shopping and especially to visit the Spice Bazaar, Mısır Çarşısı, which translates as Egyptian Bazaar, and it's also called Corn Bazaar in some translations because I know that's funny because in Turkish Mısır also translates as corn. The weather was super nice this day. It was overcast, it was like really cool wind, and just the overall ambience of this place was amazing. We were sitting right next to the Yeni Cami in the square, and we had food over here visited by a little guest. I don't even know which the cat count on how many we saw here. A little later it got sunny, we had some sweets, and now we were on our way to the Mısır Çarşısı. Everyone says, no visit to Istanbul is complete without stopping by the atmospheric Spice Bazaar. While the Grand Bazaar may be largest and most famous of Istanbul's covered bazaars, but this Spice Bazaar is just always praised for its most colorful and fragrant and fun environment. So let's see what this place has to offer. Here we are entering through the main door. There are also many other doors from the left and the right side of the bazaar throughout. Upon entering, we saw a series of endless rows of shops offering teas, spices, and whatnot, the Turkish delights, and it was just really nice to see how all of the shops were in like the same structure. They had the same tags and the design, so it was all looking really well mannered. Here, this person recognized that we were from Pakistan and he invited us over to his shop.
First time in Istanbul. This pomegranate tea. Sister, come. Bismillah.
And he gave us a try of all of his teas that he had. So we were served pomegranate tea and blueberry tea and also a few other ones, which I don't remember their names, but they were like really good. I never imagined a pomegranate tea ever, but it was apparently really good.
Vereyim mi nar çay? Türkçe biliyorsun.
Evet, biliyorum.
Nerede biliyorsun?
He had arranged this cute setup for different tourists with nuts and all of that, and he was also giving us a taste of all of the different Turkish delights and sweets that he had at his shop.
One with almond. Almond, pistachio, pomegranate, chocolate. If you want get some, I have box. You can buy mix for travel, long time fresh. If you want buy for gift, for yourself, for family, you can do mix. 2 months fresh. I have more small box.
The variety and beautiful fragrance in the bazaar is absolutely amazing, especially its architecture. But the thing is, these people seem really hospitable in the videos and all, but everyone in this bazaar is like, all the shopkeepers are literally shouting and there's like, hello, we know you're hungry, come to our place and stuff like that. They're also so loud at times, for example.
Hello!
So it gets kind of like annoying when you just really want to explore the place and they're just like trying to make you forcefully enter to their place, and then they offer you lots of stuff that you can try and eat and stuff like that, but it's just like one of their tactics. Sure, they can give stuff for free to taste and all of that, but in the end they're just like, okay, so what are you buying? Maybe someone's just strolling around the bazaar and they do not want to buy these spices, or even if someone wants to buy the prices that they tell because they know the people coming here are mostly tourists and they're not aware with the regular market prices in Turkey, so they just tell you an incredibly ridiculous price, which is super not economical. So you really have to do bargaining at these places. After the Mısır Çarşısı, we came to the other side of the Eminönü Bazaar, which we showed in our video. I'll pop the thumbnail of that on our screen that you can watch. And it started to rain over there, so we waited a little bit at these shops until the rain stopped and we came back to our hotel, rested a bit, and then after that we were on our way to the Topkapı area, the Marmara Sea, to spend the evening. There was also a restaurant right next to this place, so it had a seaside view, and for dinner we got Mediterranean pizza and roasted grilled beef. The grilled beef was not really good, but the pizza here was super delicious. It had no meat, but it was just like all vegetables and cheese, but it was really good. Ondan sonra Mahi'nin doğum gününü kutlama için Hafiz Mustafa gidiyorduk. On On our way to the Hafiz Mustafa through the Sultan Ahmed Square, the vibe of this place at night was so cool because most of the tourists go back at the time, so it's mostly empty and it's super calming. There are different restaurants over here, different stalls selling stuff, and it's just like a really cool vibe. Finally, we are in everyone's favorite Hafiz Mustafa. This branch of Hafiz Mustafa is actually one of the oldest ones in Istanbul, and I think it's one of the most initial ones as well. It was founded like back in 1864, and it's a Turkish purveyor of sweets and delicacies and everyone who loves dessert. So it's like a really cherished destination for all of those people who want to try different traditional Turkish desserts. And they have so many branches and so much variety of sweets over here. So they have Turkish delights, and it's like a confectionery heaven, I would say. They have different types of baklavas, and then they have like those fresh sweets, and they also have boxed stuff. So they're like different types of nuts covered in chocolates. They also sell rose waters, honeys, different types of coffee blends. The variety over here is really endless, and the scent of this place, it was so good, especially the scent of gül lokum, the rose delight, the rose Turkish delight. The vibe of this place was definitely a 10 out of 10, and the people working here, the staff was also so welcoming and friendly, and I just loved this place. Küçük bir kutlama için hazırlığı yapmaya başladık. Mor renkli. Evet. Bu.
Tamam, güzel baba.
Evet. I forgot to mention this earlier, but this Hafiz Mustafa was actually the Kıraathanesi coffee shop right next to the library. This place was actually a Türk Edebiyat Vakfı, Turkish Literary Foundation. So the Hafiz Mustafa portion was actually a part of that library and study foundation, and it is still a part of it. Arkadaşlarım, buradaki tatlı çeşitliliğine bir bakın ya. Hepsi çok çekici ve o kadar lezzetli görünüyorlardı ki hepsi denemek ve yemek istedim. A very late night in Istanbul, we met the most kindest souls at this place. I never imagined people to be this welcoming and warm as much as they were in Hafiz Mustafa, and we'll never forget them for their sweet gestures and above all, their smiles and all the happy vibes. They truly made the special days of our lives 10x more sweeter. Günaydın from the next day. Today's day is super exciting. Why? Because we are finally visiting the Topkapı Sarayı. We had always wished to visit this place, and it was just amazing to see how this thing on our bucket list was going to be fulfilled. We were visiting the Topkapı Sarayı with the music card, and we'll share more details of it in our next video, which is most probably going to be the Galata Kulesi video. Outside of the Topkapı Sarayı, there is this water fountain made by, I think, the Ottoman Sultan Mehmed or Ahmed II. Here we are at the gate. We plan to visit the castle really early at like 10 or 11 because after that it's just like really crowded, and even though at this time the line was incredibly long outside for the tickets, but with the music card you can just get straight access to the castle, because if you're waiting outside you first have to buy the tickets and it's just like super rushed and crowded, but with the card you can just simply go inside. First gate from which we came into, the entrance opens to a really vast area. Firstly, here is an old church called Aya Irin, and then after a 10-15 minutes walk, there is an actual gate of the palace. So the first place that we had to visit with the museum card was this Irene Church. It was an Eastern Orthodox church, and it was located in like the outer sides of the Topkapı Palace. It was under restoration. It was like super boring. There was nothing special in this place, I'll be honest. Insert the opening theme of Muhteşem Yüzyıl here. We are finally entering the Topkapı Castle, and I'll pop on the screen the different areas that we could visit despite the restoration. They gave us kind of like a card, which was like a map, which was showing us the different places that we could visit because most of it was closed. And here we are at the divan of the outside. This is still not the entrance. This is like the outer divan of the castle. So that's that. Upon entering through the second gate, there were like so many multiple areas that we could visit. Firstly, there was a section in which there were accessories of different sultans and things that they bought from different wars. There was a section in which there were displays of instruments that they used back in the old times, and just all of the things that were used in this castle, but it was not allowed to show them or even film in those areas. Most of the castle was not most of the area was not allowed to film because of their privacy and security of all that. I'm gonna pop in some pictures on the screen of a few special things that they show, because other than that, it's just all private. You have to see in real life and you cannot film. So now it was the time we entered into the actual castle area, the harem area. It was absolutely huge, and we could just firstly not figure out on which areas we could just visit. We were just walking and walking, and here we reached the library of Sultan Ahmed, and just again, the details were just absolutely mesmerizing. I mean, look at the amazing view of the Bosphorus, Boğaz Köprüsü the people living in this castle had. There is a look on the room of the mother of the king, the mother of the Sultan, Valide Sultan. And again, the details here, it was just like I was just absolutely speechless because the work was so intricate, and I just literally don't even have words to explain. Paints, the tiled work, the gold details, and how it's all preserved. It's just amazing. Due to the restoration, only a few rooms like this were open. Much of the area was just like cordoned off, and as I said earlier, we were just all over the place because we could not figure out which area we are in because of the restoration and how everything was closed. But it was the harem, that's the area that we were in. Here we are standing in the chamber of favorites. Here, Sultan's favorite concubines and I think a little portion of his family resided. So that was a snippet on the Topkapı Castle. There were still so many areas that were closed for restoration and so many areas that we haven't showed in the video, but even though there were restrictions to film in this place, we were still able to take photos over here, so you can visit both me and Mahin's Instagram, where we have shared more of this castle, historical details, and different sections that we cannot show in the video. We almost spent like 4 or 5 hours visiting the whole castle, and after that we just rested for the whole day, and at night we came back again to the Sultanahmet Square, and here you can see I am getting my favorite simit, the çikolatalı simit. Ve bu kadardı. Umarım beğenmişsinizdir. Şimdi ertesi hafta dop dolu yeni bir video ile sizlerle buluşacağız. O zamana kadar kendine iyi bak. Görüşmek üzere.